UnitedHealth is having a difficult year in 2025 on several fronts. Overall, the stock price is down almost 40% year to date. Now, investors want to know what the next year will look like, but they also want to know what the stock price could be by the end of 2026. Investors understand that because of United Health's inflexible pricing policies in certain categories, it's going to take more time to turn things around. So they're looking ahead to 2026 as a year that could lift the stock price higher from its beaten down levels today. So in this video, I'll answer that question. I'll give you my price target for United Health stock by the end of next year. I'll share with you all of the information I'm using to make this price prediction. I'll share with you precisely where I'm getting the information from and the numbers that I'm using so that you can determine yourself whether my forecast is too optimistic, too pessimistic, or right on point. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to need a lot of data to make this price prediction, and my preferred data source is fiscal.ai, which is also the sponsor of this video. You can get a lot of information like earnings per share forecasts provided by fiscal.ai. And one of my favorite features is the charting tool, where you can develop charts like this one, where I look at the operating cash flow to sales ratio for United Health going all the way back to 2005. 20 years of data. It really allows me to view a company's performance over a longer period of time and evaluate where the company's future prospects could be. So fiscal.ai provides all of these kinds of charts and many, many more, as I'm going to share with you in this video. You can join their service. If you use the link in my description, you'll get a discount for their services. So one of the data points I'm going to retrieve from fiscal.ai to make this prediction is the 2027 earnings per share estimate. So according to the Wall Street analysts that are following United Health Group stock, they think the company is going to deliver $21.74 in earnings per share in fiscal year 2027. Now, when I'm using the forward 1-year price to earnings ratio to make a price prediction for 2026, I need the earnings per share estimate for 2027, and that's what I'm retrieving here, the $21.74. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be using the forward price to earnings ratio. And again, fiscal.ai has these charts available. And United Health Group is currently trading at a forward PE of 18.92, near the lower end of where it's traded for according to this valuation all year long in 2025. As I mentioned, the company's facing a lot of headwinds. The biggest reason for the headwind is the company's management team underestimated its cost to serve customers this year by over $6 billion. And so those higher costs are going to eat into the company's profitability, dropping earnings per share and dropping cash flow, as the management team has unfortunately reiterated to investors several times this year. Okay, so now that I have the data to make this price prediction, let me share with you the model I'm utilizing to make this prediction. What I have here is the earnings per share estimate for 2027 as we retrieved from fiscal.ai, combined with the forward price to earnings ratio in the second column. And the third column, you have the stock price estimate if the company's forward price to earnings ratio were to increase. I have several scenarios so I can take a look into what the possibilities are and then make my prediction for what's the most likely scenario to occur by the end of 2026. So if all else remains the same and the company's earnings per share moves forward as expected and the forward price to earnings ratio remains the same, the stock price could end next year at $411.32. But I think it's more likely that the company's forward PE ratio will trend higher, given that the company's performance will likely improve by the end of next year. A lot of the difficulties they're facing this year will likely come to resolution by the end of next year, according to what I've seen from management and according to the plans that they are implementing. It looks likely by the end of next year that they'll be on a better trajectory moving forward, and investors are likely to reward them once they get their margins improving again. So if their forward PE ratio were to increase to 20, the stock price could rise to $435 a share. If the forward PE were to increase to 22, stock price could rise to 478. And if the forward PE were to increase to 25, the stock price could rise to $543 per share, all of which would be excellent increases from the current market price of $304 per share. Now, just because I haven't forecasted a scenario where the stock price is falling doesn't mean that's not possible. That's also a likely scenario. It's just a scenario that I see as less likely compared to the stock price increasing. I see it as a greater than 50% chance that by the end of 2026, UnitedHealth Group stock price is higher than where it is today. So I think this is a more likely scenario, although there is still probabilities that the stock price could decline either because earnings per share are revised lower or because the forward PE multiple contracts further from here, and that could send the valuation lower. I just don't think that that's a very likely scenario given how beaten down the stock price already is compared to the company's longer term expectations, compared to the nature of some of its difficulties. One of the difficulties it has is because its pricing is inflexible for certain customers. So as it miscalculated the cost to serve customers, it's not able to increase prices here in the middle of the year. It has to wait till next year to increase prices to offset the higher cost to serve those customer segments. So next year, as they get the chance to increase prices, they can match closer with the cost to serve customers and align their margins more effectively against their longer term trajectories, their longer term expectations for earnings per share growth. So all that being said, where do I think the stock price ends next year? What's the most likely scenario? Well, I think the stock price ends next year somewhere between $400 and $430 per share by the end of 2026, which would be an excellent increase for a stock like UnitedHealth that has lower than average risk being a healthcare company. By the way, you can get access to all of my stock price predictions and the spreadsheet where I keep my buy, hold, sell recommendations with the channel membership at the investor tier or above. As you can see here, I have UnitedHealth Group stock rated as a buy. I updated that recommendation today after concluding my analysis, and I updated my price target for UnitedHealth Group stock. This is my 2026 price target, and next to it, I place the date when I updated that price target so I can transparently share with you my predictions, my analysis, and you can determine how you want to utilize this for your investment decision-making processes. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.